Oh, hey, Jefferson Bryant from Red Dirt Rodz. Now today we're continuing work on our 69 Malibu, and as you can see we're about to take off the door panels. Now we're going to replace these because they've been cut on and they're pretty bad shape, so we're going to replace these with a set of door skins that we picked up from Original Parts Group. Now there's a couple of tricks on these, and the main one is that they don't remanufacture the steel armrest panel that goes behind the door panel. So we're going to remove that from the original door panel, transfer it to the new ones, and show you how to do it for your project. We've got our door panel set up on a bench here. There's a bunch of little trim pieces that we need to remove. So we're just going to use our small trim tool, slip it under there. Pop that up, and that went about 3 miles from here, so we'll have to go find it. Now this is the metal armrest trim that we discussed earlier. It attaches to the panel with these little staples that are actually punched out from the metal itself, and then they go into the hardboard. So we're going to have to separate this, peel the upholstery back, and then we're going to have to glue and remount this to the new upholstery. We've got the weather stripping here, which is stapled. Now you can see the edge of the staples right here, and these can be pretty difficult to get out sometimes. There we go. That might work. Once you get one, the rest of them are a little easier. With that off, we can go ahead and strip the upholstery. And there you go. Now we need to clean this up with a Scotch-Brite. We're just going to use a coarse Scotch-Brite on a roll lock. Safety first, remember your goggles. The next step is to attach this to the cardboard. The front and rear edge, you can't go off that. You need to go off of this notch here in the center. Match this notch to that notch. Something like that. You'll have a little bit of an overhang on the rear and a little bit of overhang on the front. There's also a notch here on the front and back, this edge. That should catch the top of the cardboard. You can come along here and just press in, and that's going to make some indentations. That'll make some indentations on the cardboard for where your holes are. Pull it back, flip this up, and we'll see these little marks here. So now we know where the rivet holes are going to go. With these marks, we're going to use those in a few locations with a small drill bit, just big enough to fit our rivet. We want to do the outside, go, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches, 5 inches, and space them out that way. You don't need to do every single one. So we want to do the first one. Skip a few. Make sure that the vinyl is not underneath it. You don't want to accidentally hit your vinyl. we've got our door panel set up on a couple of 2x4s for a little bit of working room, and then we've got our armrest positioned on the door panel. Now, we're using 1/8 inch rivets, but there are 3 sizes. You've got shorts, medium, and longs. The shorts are not quite long enough to go through the steel armrest panel and the cardboard and capture our washer. So we're going to go with the mediums. The longs are just a little bit too big. So what we're going to do is take this, slip it into the hole, take our washer, snug it up on the back side. We want to get it on there as far as possible. We got a nice smooth rivet on the front side. This is the front side that's going to be covered by the vinyl. Now the door panel is secure. Move our blocks. We're going to flip this over. Is use our hammer and our block to go ahead and tap the panel down and push the cardboard onto those metal tabs that we have from the factory. Now the vinyl has to be glued and wrapped around the cardboard and the armrest panel. But before we do that, we want to heat up our vinyl with our heat gun. We just want to put a little bit of heat in this to get it flexible and pliable so we can stretch it easy. Now we don't want to put too much in it because you can boil the vinyl and ruin it. We just want to put a little bit in it and then put our glue on, and then we'll heat it up a little bit more when we actually stretch it. This is upholstery contact cement, and usually you load this into a spray gun and you'll shoot it on here. But like I said, not everybody has the ability to do that. So we're going to show you an alternate method. First, you want to put on some gloves. You don't have to wear gloves, but it keeps your hands clean so that you can apply the glue and then take the gloves off and have clean hands and don't have to worry about getting glue all over the place. So glove up. Going to use a chip brush. Now this glue we picked up from our local upholstery shop. This bottle cost us about $5, and it goes a long way. So first we're just going to get a little bit of glue on our brush. And just brush it on. It does not take very much. This stuff is very efficient. Now the glue needs to rest for a couple of minutes before you attach it. So you got time to work. You actually want the glue to dry up a little bit. If you put it on wet, it won't stick. We're going to get the heat gun out again and heat this up a little bit to make sure it's nice and pliable. Now you might notice we have 2 pieces of vinyl here. That's one is going to smooth up that seam so that you don't see it. And the other is the final coating. Now, what you want to do is you want to start in the middle, grab it, and pull it as tight as you can and get it over that first edge. Get those corners. We're going to go ahead and glue up the back side of the steel. Get the edges. And pull the corner out. Get some heat in it. We take our razor blade is sharp. Take our razor blade and we want to cut a few slashes in it, and those will help us peel it out like that. So just like that. Okay, and we can go ahead and cut some of this off. Wrap that around, and we can continue and do the rest of the arm panel. Now, if you'll notice here, we've got several pre-cut pieces and holes for different things. This is for the door handle crank, for the door opening handle. A couple of these holes are for the armrests. Then we've got a choice here. One of these is for a power window switch. One of them is for the actual window crank if you have a manual window car, which we do. So what we need to do is determine which one of these we need to open up, cut this out, cut out the vinyl. So what we want to do is just use a hook tool. Pop that up. And then we can use a razor blade. And all we want to do is put a cross, about like that. And then we've got the push locks. These go into these holes that are here on the side of the door panel. You just punch these in and slide them up. And that's all there is to doing door panels. Now it'll take you 4 or 5 hours to do all 4 door panels and get them installed on the car. We're going to go ahead and pull these off before we do our body work so we don't have to worry about damaging them. Make sure you check out opgi.com for more projects, and we'll see you next time.